Bikers are not known for being quiet. Bikers are not known for being introverts. We ride super loud motorcycles for a reason. We're not introverts. We're actually obnoxious sometimes. We're vexing sometimes, right? And people are gonna push you. 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 And you might not like it. And so you need to be comfortable with that. You need to, and you're gonna have to push some people. And I'm not talking about pushing to be better, pushing to go to the next level. In a motorcycle club, you become better because you want to better the brotherhood. You don't better the brotherhood to bettering just your brother. You better the brotherhood becoming.
Here we are. Today we got a banger. We got a really good episode.
Yeah, man, today we are going to be something that we don't discuss and we never mention, and I'm going to explain the reason why our organizations. And the reason why, not because we're not proud of the organizations that we belong to.
Not at all.
To the contrary, we're so proud of them that we don't want for people to think that what we're setting here is the position of our organization. That is the reason. So let me repeat that. We just are so respectful of our organizations that we don't want for people to think that the shenanigans that goes in here represents our organization. That's why you don't see us wearing colors or anything like that. And from the day one, it was something that for me was non-negotiable. I love my organization. In the podcast, we're not going to be representing the organizations because I don't want for people to think that any statement or anything that we said is the position of either Black Sheep or Lisa Saints MC. So, Ander,
Absolutely.
tell us a little bit about your organization. What did you belong to?
So I am a proud member of Black Sheep Harley Davidsons for Christ motorcycle ministry. This is a motorcycle ministry that has over 25 years. We just celebrated 25 years of being established. Our founder, Marty Edwards, felt the call of the Lord, and he founded Black Sheep Harley Davidsons for Christ. We are a motorcycle ministry, and our primary focus is HOG. That's our mission ground. That's our mission area where we focus. The majority of our ministry is there, but we also minister to the biker community at large, and anybody that will listen to what we have, the good news of the gospel. We're in 47 states approximately. We have members in Mexico, we have members in Australia, France, so it's international, and it's a blessing. I'm so honored to be a part of this organization. I love it.
Awesome. And I started my career, as you will, my motorcycle career in Black Sheep Harley Davidson for Christ, where I served for also for 6 years close. I don't remember exactly. But I am the president of the Miami chapter for Lisa Saints MC. And Lisa Saints MC is a motorcycle club. We're a nation. We have more than 15 years together as a nation. A nation is more than 10 years, is defined as more than 10 years in more than 10 states or locations with more than 10 chapters. So we're a nation. Proud to say that. We're the black and gray nation. We're different than a motorcycle ministry. Our mission is brotherhood. We are a motorcycle club. Who makes the motorcycle club Christian is the members, because the members are Christians and we have the demand. So it's not that the motorcycle club is Christian, because this paper is not Christian. Who is Christian is the one holding the paper.
Yeah.
So that's how we see it. And I started with Black Sheep, and I felt the call, or I felt the talk to actually go into a motorcycle club. I wanted a different kind of commitment. But although we took a different path and we just separated, we went different ways. Actually, you stayed in the same way and I went a different way. We see the difference right now. I probably say, man, that our call and our desire to serve God in anywhere and has been always the same. So today's episode, it is for those that are trying to, they have a motorcycle, they're riding already, and they want to have a group of men or a group of friends that ride motorcycles. They love the idea of serving God, love the idea of they want to serve God with the motorcycle, and they don't know what to choose. They don't know which one they should pick. Should I go with a motorcycle club? Should I go with a motorcycle ministry? Well, so that's like the idea of this episode, discussing should I start my own, which I'm going to tell you right away, spoiler alert, do not start your own. There is 10,000 organizations out there, Christian motorcycle clubs, Christian motorcycle ministries that are great, doing an amazing job. Join one of those. Oh, we don't have one in my area. Reach out to the national offices. Most likely, they're going to send someone. They're going to put you in contact with someone that is going to help you to start one. But do not make the mistake to start one. Do not make the mistake because that you want to start one because where you are right now, they don't do what you want to do. That is not a reason to start a motorcycle club. I always going to encourage you to start something, join something, go through the process. Just wanted to say that up front.
No, and I just wanted to say that a lot of people out there that ride, Christians, brothers and sisters that serve the Lord, that really don't even know that this is out there, right? So,
hold on one second. So you're saying that there's people that serve in the Lord and they don't need a patch?
They don't need a patch.
Boom, I'm killing the list.
They don't need a patch.
You don't need a patch to serve God,
to
right?
serve God and to ride for the Lord. However, of our brothers and sisters are out there and they don't know that there are organizations that exist, right? Because they just ride. They're motorcycle enthusiasts. They ride. They love to ride, and they love the Lord, and they like to. When I met you, I had no clue about the motorcycle ministry. That was something foreign to me. So when I had the opportunity, I was sold, and almost immediately I was like, wait a minute. So I can ride my motorcycle and I can serve the Lord while riding my bike? Forget about it. That's a trifecta. Because you have good friends, you have your bike, and you can still serve the Lord, or you can serve the Lord actively with a purpose. So for those of you that ride and you're not aware, like Ozzy says and mentions, there are a ton of organizations. And they're all different. They might have different purposes. Read up, look for information. We're all on the internet. You can go to our website, www.blacksheep.org, hgfc.org, my bad. But you can look us up. Or Google, you've got CMA, there's so many out there. And it's like churches. There's different strokes for different folks. But what Ozzy is saying about you don't have to start something new and take it from us that we've been doing this for a while, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's so much that goes into it. And there's so much work. And there's so many people that think I'm going to do my own thing because I want to be the shot caller. I would highly encourage you to pray. Why are you trying to do this? Do you want to be a shot caller? That's like the person that I want to be a pastor. I want to be the pastor. Why? Because I want to be the guy calling the shots. Do you want to serve?
It's the wrong reasons, also the wrong message, man. I got a particular kind of passion, and I wasn't like that, by the way. It became like that with belonging to a motorcycle club. My man, those motorcycle ministries that are wearing a three-piece patch, Jesus Christ, you don't know how much. They just formed as a motorcycle ministry, and now they're wearing a three-piece patch, and they just put MM, and they feel that because they have they have a free-for-all, and they don't have
pass.
You got a free pass. Oh, come on, it's a free pass that I don't have to buy by the rules. And it's disrespectful to guys that are wearing an MCQ, and you're gonna get checked out.
Yeah.
And and listen, and patching policy does this culture corrects itself. But end of run for now. I promise you.
Let's do the following. Let's establish what an MC is and what the purpose is, and then I'll talk about the ministry.
What do you think an MC is? And let's do it backwards. What do you think is an MC?
Flip the script. All right. So I'm pretty sure that the MC really exists for the purpose of the fellowship, the brotherhood. That's the purpose. That is the product. The idea is I'm passionate about my bikes, and I want to have brothers that have the same love for the same culture. It's all about the culture. It's about the brotherhood. It's about the protocol, the respect and honor that goes with that culture. The sole purpose of it is that the mere fact that it's be it a Christian or a secular, again, if it's a Christian, then you guys will be different and set apart. You guys won't be doing the same things that everybody else will be doing, just like we all behave differently because we represent Jesus wherever we stand. The only thing is that you guys represent Jesus within the set of the MC culture.
Yeah,
That's
my
understanding.
I will put it like that. I will put it like that. I would say that when I wanted in my heart to join an MC, I didn't want to join a Christian MC, or wasn't looking particularly for a Christian MC. I was looking for an MC. I was looking for brotherhood. And actually, someone, a boost fighter, he said, man, listen, you can join the boost fighter. Said there's no boost fighters down here. And it's a club that I respect the heck out of it because it's a historical club. I'm a club nerd. I love clubs and I love club history.
You're a nerd, period.
Period. Yeah. Yeah, that was an MC that appeals to me because of the history. But we didn't have any of those in here. And he said, man, there's another MC that I respect the heck out of it. It's called Lisa Saints MC. They're in Florida, and they were just far away from me up in Jacksonville, like end to end. But I was looking for brotherhood. I was looking for brotherhood, and brotherhood I found. We serve God. Or serving God in my motorcycle club is a byproduct of the brotherhood. We serve God because we push each other to share the gospel. We make each other accountable to be great disciples. And we make each other accountable to do that. And there's a humongous amount of prayer that goes with it. Yeah, we're serving God, but we're serving God. The sole purpose is not to serve God. And let me just explain to the audience what a motorcycle ministry is. Being someone that came from the world, motorcycle ministry has a particular mission. People don't ride just because they want to ride. People ride because they have a purpose on their rides. And this is people that is active in ministry, serving God, and the motorcycle is just a vehicle. For us, in the motorcycle club, the motorcycle is a glue that unites us. It's something that brings us together. Motorcycle ministry, the motorcycle is just a vehicle. Could be a car ministry, could be whatever, but it's a ministry. The main purpose of it is to share the good news and to love people and to be the hand of feet of Jesus. So that is, to me, the main difference. Some, as a byproduct of serving God, sometimes brotherhood is created.
Most definitely, again, right? So I agree with you 100%. Our purpose is ministry. The motorcycle is a tool.
It's just a tool.
And we love to ride, and we fellowship, and we definitely, one of the difference between our organization is, for example, our ministry is co-ed, so women are full patch members. They are, their patches are the same as the men's, and they have a rightful place within the organization. We need women in our organization because we minister. Our circle of ministry, which is HOG, has women riders, right? So it's only, it fits us that we have sisters that can minister to the females, because obviously for reasons that are pretty obvious, a man wouldn't offer ministry to a woman, right? It's not the best look. It can be pretty dangerous, to be honest. But yes, we do develop and we do have that byproduct. Brotherhood is a byproduct of doing ministry hand in hand and shoulder to shoulder, so to speak. We get to ride also, but the rides are it's part of a purpose. We'll go for rides, sure, but if we go for a ride and we're like in a position where, oh, do we do ministry or do we do the ride? If there's an opportunity for ministry, that takes precedence always, because that's what we're here for. We're not only for the ride. And that's one of the, I want to say, one of the things that I set always apart. And as a regional director, I let everybody know within my region, the ministry, the opportunity to share the gospel will always be more important than any other aspect of the motorcycle culture and environment. And that is not so with many other organizations. It's about the ride. It's about what goes with the function of the club or whatever organization it is. That's one of the main.
I think that that's a great differentiator. So listen, what type of riders would you say appeal to a motorcycle ministry and appeals to a motorcycle club? Or what type of riders should join a motorcycle ministry and what type of riders should join a motorcycle club? Because that's important, right? I most definitely think that your riding style and your ability to ride and your commitment to ride may appeal to a type of organization and to another. And I'm asking you this question because there are a lot of motorcycle ministries that do not require for you to have a motorcycle.
That's crazy. But yes,
But
you are absolutely
you're
right.
not true.
You are absolutely right. I just have to say that to me sounds crazy. And again, I am speaking for myself, not my organization. I'm very glad that you established that point, right? Because I'm a crazy kind of guy, and I would hate, because we know what the wrong message can, the effect it can have, not in my area, but nationwide. If somebody were to say, oh, but that's the position of Black Sheep, no. Again, and thank you for clarifying that. This is Ozzy and Abner speaking. We do not, in any way, shape, or form, represent our official policies of our organizations in this podcast.
You do speak on behalf of Donald Trump and Harley Davidson Motorcycles, the motor company?
Yes.
Yeah.
That, for me, is bananas. The question was, what kind of riders? So within the ministry, there are riders that are hardcore riders. And when I define hardcore riders, is I want to shout out to a Critter. He's a hardcore rider. This guy rides tens of thousands of miles a year.
So distance rider.
He's a long distance. He works in Ohio, Defiance, Ohio. His motorcycle is his only mode of transportation. He rides with his lovely dog Critter, whom we love, and he lives in Ohio, in Defiance, Ohio. He's got a house in South Carolina. He comes out to Florida. He'll come down to fix your bike, to change your spark plugs if you need that, for him to do that. Not that you wouldn't do that yourself, but that's the kind of rider. I rode with him to California and back. He's a long distance rider. He's hardcore,
Okay,
but generally speaking, and
because there's also there's the misconception too that MCs only attracts hardcore riders, and in that sense, and okay, not every single brother has the time, the ability, the vacation, the PTO to go to California, and that doesn't mean. But so that is the misconception that the bikers, they don't MC brothers, they don't work or they don't. That's the only thing that they do. These suckers are expensive. So, but generally speaking, what type of riders?
So hardcore riding is not only long distance riding, because even in the state, if you have to put in a couple of hours and do a turn and burn 6 hours or 7 hours, a day of 8 hours of riding back and forward or whatever it is, that may be out of exceeding the limits of some riders, right? And you have new riders, you have experienced riders. I think that there's a variety.
So in the main, you see a variety.
Okay. Listen, man, in the motorcycle ministry, you've got riders that have been riding for more than 30, 40 years, 50 years. We've got riders that are new, but we also have very experienced seasoned riders. I think that it goes to the spirit of the purpose. A motorcycle ministry rider is somebody that understands that they ride because God has called them to do ministry. And if they have to ride a lot, they ride a lot. If it's a little bit less, it's a little bit less. But they do it because they are responding to the call of the Lord. Our pledge indicates that we are compelled by the Spirit of the Lord to do ministry. Compelled means that you have that calling and you must do it. Not because it's convenient, not because I like it, not because it's a hobby of mine, not because I enjoy it. Yes, all of those things may be true, but it is because God has called me to it. Might be different for somebody that says, I like to ride, but I want to enjoy brotherhood. I want to have that bond that is forged on the road. And those people that maybe join a motorcycle club, and I know that there are probably some that aren't as hardcore with skills that go with the motorcycle club lifestyle, which is a much more aggressive type of riding style and many times, but they will practice and they will stretch themselves and they will make sure that they elevate their game.
Elevate themselves.
Because we've talked about this, about being better, because it's a matter of life and death. Because when you ride with somebody, you trust your life. You're going handlebar to handlebar with somebody. You better make sure that they are at that level, because if not, there's going to be a situation down the road. Now, just to then button that up, I think that as far as the type of motorcycle rider that you are, it all depends, and there's room for everything in both organizations. I think it boils down to purpose.
Absolutely. And listen, there is a little bit of everything, and I'm going to speak on from my perspective. It's a little bit of everything. I think that in the motorcycle ministry, you find more enthusiasts, people that are okay with just stopping more often, people that enjoy perhaps their rides a little bit more. Motorcycle club is a more aggressive rider, and it's not that we don't enjoy the road. We just enjoy. We enjoy being on the pack. We truly enjoy being on the pack. We enjoy being handlebar to handlebar. We enjoy cruising hard. We enjoy when the cars just flying like jets. We look like a school of sharks, and we enjoy that a lot. And that tightness is something that we enjoy. It's more militant, as you will. It's more disciplined, and it's more disciplined because it's a life or death situation. And and the commitment is greater, right? So on a motorcycle club, there's no such a thing like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna catch you today, man, or that doesn't exist. And I believe for someone that is stepping into it and that enjoys motorcycle, and it's just, you don't know yet, and I think it's a easier transition into an organized motorcycle group, if you will. And most definitely, man, I remember clearly when, I don't remember where we were going, but I remember that I was an axie with the schedule. And that is not how it's done. And man, you should enjoy the time you pay for the soccer. And those long stops at a gas station, they become a prayer. They become an opportunity to share the gospel. They become an opportunity to fool around. For us, it's different. For us, it's a different style. Those are the rights that we're looking with people that are a little bit more disciplined and more militaristic, as you will.
Yeah, I think that I have to fall back on the purpose. You guys, right, or for MCs, and when you say the commitment, you talk about commitment, and we'll go into that in a minute. The commitment, you guys you can't say no, right? It's, if the club calls you,
You serve the club.
you gotta go, right? You serve at the pleasure of the club, so to speak. Right? If there's something to do in this club business, it doesn't matter if it's whatever time it is, right? It is what it is. Because I got the call, I gotta go. And the rides are probably like that. We have to get here at a certain time. And not to say that when we ride, It's not that we get there when we get there and
Not
we
at
had it. But if we do a stop and there's an opportunity for prayer, then we'll be praying. That's what we're there for. But the purpose is, yeah, we're gonna get to where we're gonna have to go. But if we have an opportunity for prayer, if we have an opportunity for ministry, we don't know if that person will ever have that opportunity again. If God put us there for that divine appointment, if that was the reason for the day was for an opportunity for prayer, that is why, yes, of course, we will. That's our purpose. So I fall back on purpose. Your purpose is you guys, the unit. Our purpose is whatever God wants us to do, and that is what it is. Writing skills, yes. More importantly, for those people that are thinking, should I join a ministry? Should I join a club? I would tell you, pray on what you feel the Lord wants you to do. If you're a person that you do ministry at your church and you're ministered up, you've got all the avenues for ministry, maybe you don't need a ministry. This is work. I can tell you that being in a motorcycle ministry is that you are a minister, with the same responsibilities and expectation of a minister at church. We have a responsibility to God first and foremost, then toward the organization. It is a job. It is an undertaking that you sign up for because you understand that God is calling you to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pray for that. If you feel that God is calling you to do ministry and that's an opportunity that you want to take advantage of, look for a ministry. You want to have fun, you want to be with like-minded people, and you want to enjoy your bike and you want brotherhood, and you want to have that enjoyment. And not that you guys don't have the opportunity. I know for a fact that you guys pray for other bikers, that you guys in clubhouses, you get the opportunity to minister. I know that. And amen. Because you guys are light wherever you go. And you're not going to say, no, well, I don't have to pray for anybody because I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
No. Because that's a responsibility that you have regardless, as a Christian, right? As a son of the Almighty, you know that the word says that we are supposed to be preaching
On season and off season.
on season and off season, right? Not really. I don't feel like it today. No, if God puts you in the position, you're going to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
But that's if he puts you in the position. Motorcycle ministers, we look for that opportunity. So if you feel that God is calling you to something like that, ministry might be an opportunity and an option. On the other hand,
which was my case, I serve at church. I'm a minister at my church. 3,000 connect groups. I'm minister up, as you said.
ministered up.
I'm minister up. I was looking for my brothers. I was looking for brotherhood. So for me, that's very important.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Mind you.
At all.
There's no right and wrong.
Let's help our audience and let's talk about pros and cons of joining MNC versus MMN. And I'm going to start right. So some of the pros, the brotherhood is strong. Everybody says the word brotherhood. Everybody wants to do brotherhood. Everybody understands to do brotherhood. The brotherhood is strong. And the brotherhood is strong doesn't mean that we're holding hands and singing. You guys know, my brothers that are listening to this, that at some point I have said some harsh stuff to your face, and you have done the same. Brotherhood means that despite of being angry and being mad at you and we solved this issue here, and we're still gonna go into them. Brotherhood means that I celebrate. I'm purposely celebrating your kid's birthday. I called the guys. I said, I wanted more than brotherhood. I want unclehood because we all have kids. And brotherhood means that when there's something that you need, I don't really have to. You don't really have to ask. We're right there, always. Brotherhood. We have a brother, Martin. I hope you get better soon. That he went down. Man, he didn't have to ask for us to go to see him. He was, 100 miles away from us, and just we did what we need to do. Just go see it and just make my brother laugh and just let him know, hey man, we're here, whatever you need. So that's something that's important. Another pro, I don't know if this is a pro or con, is the commitment. And I put it as a pro because commitments, this type of commitment create a deep bond. When That's why we have probation. That's why we have in the probation period, an MC is actually trying to. One of the things that I'm trying to see is how committed are you, brother? Do you really want it? Are you committed enough that you're going to watch my motorcycle? Are you committed enough that you're going to serve the table? Are you committed enough that you're going to? So commitment creates bond. Commitment creates a deep sense of bond. And for us, that's important. And another one is, and I think, and please do understand my words, and I'm not trying to say anything wrong about motorcycle ministries, motorcycle associations, riding clubs, but a motorcycle club is the top of the food chain, and there's a lot of recognition and there's a lot of respect that is being thrown to motorcycle club, and it is the elite. Actually, the elite is 1%ers clubs, but a motorcycle club, a 99% club, whether it's Christian, whether it's a sober club, whatever is the case, there is a lot of respect that comes with that.
And that's part of the culture.
Part of the culture. So it's not something that a rule that I made just because I'm not trying to teach any, but most definitely, that's what it is. And actually, both motorcycle association, riding clubs, and MCs, they're okay with that. They know what they sign up for, right? Cons, most definitely, man, and the time commitment. And the amount of time that I have put into the club has been ridiculous. And when I feel like, you remember when Obama started in office that he was, and then when he left office, that guy has aged. Yeah, that's so much. That's all I feel like in 4 years of first term of Obama.
Yeah, I know that, and that's one of the things that it should be a concern for those that consider that. Because what we were talking about, the purpose of the MC is the MC, and being that the way it is, you have to be available because you sign up for that.
I sign up for that.
It's spot on, because it's like being in the military and then saying, I really don't want to go. I don't want to go to that deployment. Wait a minute, man, you signed up for it.
You signed up for it.
What do you mean you don't want to go?
You sign up for
it. It's not, there's no surprise. That is the way it operates. Let's all remember that MCs were a spawn, right, of those military people that came back. They were looking for that brotherhood, but they already had the structure and they understood what it was to have to earn their position. Right? Just like in the Army, or the armed forces, you do basic training, mm-hmm. You have to go through a grueling process to weed out the weak and those that don't make the cut. Now, if you make the cut, now you're a soldier, now you have a rank, now you have a position, but you have a duty and you have a responsibility.
Absolutely.
And you cannot say, I really don't feel like it.
And there is a mandatory meeting, and not only ours mandatory meeting, but it's the Big Brother calls for a mandatory meeting, or whatever is the case. You have to be there. Simple. Something that I want to say, man, if you're thinking about joining an MC, please, for the love of God, enjoy the MC as a member. Don't become an officer right away. Something else is the misunderstanding of what a motorcycle club is. And I see this a lot in Christian motorcycle clubs. I really see this a lot in Christian motorcycle clubs. Because they feel that they're the Jesus 1%ers. And a motorcycle club is not about toughness. This is not about you looking mockfits. Actually, man, I can tell you that I have met the coolest bikers in the world that I have met are 1%ers. Great people, awesome people, family members, family guys, contributors to the economy, contributors to the country. And guess what? They're not looking mean. They're not trying to pretend that they're mean people. They're not trying to, it's not a facade of, and I see that a lot, unfortunately, in some Christian motorcycle clubs, that you're trying to pretend who you're not, man. And there is a big misunderstanding. I remember when my wife came to the realization that I joined an MC, because she was like, wait a second, why I have to follow you all the time? Why I have to be behind you? I said, baby, because you're my lady. So, holy cow, you join a motorcycle club. I said, duh, that's what I think.
Yeah, I think you pulled the wool over her eyes for a minute.
Do you
there.
think so?
I think you sold her
It's a different
yeah,
story.
you sold her what do they call it, a false bill of goods.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Give her some a little fake news.
Anna, yeah, you gave her fake news. You gave her fake news.
Did I?
But listen, I know what you're talking about. There's too many people that and we've talked about this, about people that they've watched the shows on TV.
It's not funny.
They think it's gonna be all because it's all about the patches, it's all about the prestige and whatever. And this culture is very unforgiving of that. And although motorcycle ministries are ministries, we are not clubs. We are organized. We do have rules. We have bylaws. We have many things that keep us in an organized. I would tell you that I am so proud of our organization because we carry, I want to say, some of the cleanest and most organized cuts you will see in the community. Black Sheep has very high standards. And I praise God for those standards because our leaders, many of them they come from MCs, and they understand the culture, they understand the respect, the honor that we have to carry, that we must carry ourselves with, to honor the culture, because although we focus on HOG primarily, which is Harley's Orders Group, right? These are just enthusiasts and right? But we also are in a community, and we have our patches, and we will be riding in places, and sometimes we get the opportunity to serve MCs and serve in rallies where there are where there's everybody's there, right? And we have to walk in those steps. Not that not that we're imitating, but we are honoring the culture. Now, in this effort, we must carry ourselves with the same type of respect. Now, we're talking about the pros and cons,
Yeah,
right?
talk to me about the motorcycle.
Motorcycle ministry pros, if you want to grow in your faith, and I say this respectfully, if you are interested in being in ministry, understand that you need to be mature, spiritually speaking. You don't have to be holier than thou. It's not being, I'm perfect. It has nothing to do with that. But you do have to have a maturity, because you will be exposed to certain things. And if you are too religious and you're too full of yourself and you feel that you are holier than thou, you will find yourself looking over your shoulder at people. And that's not what this is about. We are about meeting people where they're at with the good news of the gospel. And for that, we can't be squeamish. We can't be, they're cursing here. Oh my God, that girl is washing a bike in a bikini. No, hey, listen, steer clear of what you need to steer clear of, but you can't be scandalized because of that. You have to have a certain maturity to understand that you are going into the world to share the gospel of Jesus Christ. We're going to be sitting down like Jesus with the prostitutes, with the thieves, with the whoever, with whoever will listen to the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ. If you want to hang out with people that are like you, saved, just say at church.
Say at church.
You have to be willing. And the pros of the ministry is that it will help you continue in your walk with Christ, to grow. That's one of our goals, is to continue to grow, to continue to, in our walk with Jesus. It will make you a better father. It will make you a better husband. It will make you a better servant. In our ministry, Black Sheep requires that you serve at your church. Do not tell me that you want to serve people that you don't know when you can't serve the people
That was always
sit with you at the table, and you guys eat of the spiritual bread that your pastor brings, and you don't serve your brothers and sisters at church.
That's something that's a carryover for me. It's not a.
Oh, yeah.
We made part of our bylaws and national.
Amen, and that's good.
Because
How are you gonna say, oh, I want
I
to
don't
serve
want
people?
no one in my club. I don't want no one in my club that is not known by his pastor.
Yeah, exactly.
If your pastor doesn't know who you are, I don't want.
If he doesn't know you by name, what are you doing?
I don't
How
know.
are you? How? What?
No, I've said in my marriage church, somebody needs to know you.
Exactly.
Nobody knows you at your church.
In a mega church, there's 100 pastors. At least one of them needs to be able to know you. So one of the pros, one of them is that you also have the brotherhood. You get to fellowship. You get to ride. You get to know. Listen, I have family that I have not yet met. How do you have family that you haven't met? Well, because I have brothers that I haven't met. But once I see them, and once we see each other, I recognize in his spirit, my spirit, and we know, and he's family. And that's a beautiful thing. Every time we go to a gathering, every time we go to a rally, we just see each other. We know who we are. We have an identity within the ministry and within this organization that we know that belongs to God and is his, right? So that's one of the big takeaways and benefits, pros that we have. One of the cons, and I wouldn't even call it a con, but one of the prices that we have to pay is, yes, we have to give of our time. We have to give of our resources. We have a commitment. When you become a member of any ministry, and I'm going to say this respectfully, when you become part of a ministry, if they do not require of your time and they do not have an expectation of you doing your part, then I would question, really, well, what are you wearing patches for? What kind of a ministry is it? Yeah. If you can just get patches and just ride whenever you want, what do you mean ride whenever you want? So there's sometimes that I need to ride and I don't want to ride. I'm tired, or I wish I could stay. I don't get to stay. I have to go. Why? Because I said I answered the call the Lord made to me. So that's for some that would be a con. For me, that's a price that I pay. And I go to the store.
Not everybody on the same level that you are. So
but again, right?
For some, it's something that
for some, it's. And I would tell anybody, if that is your position, where but that's gonna take time.
Don't join.
And this is not for you.
This is not for you. Don't join.
That's
what I said to everybody. Whether it's an MC or an MM.
Exactly.
If that's your position in anything, by the way.
Thank you.
In anything in life.
Thank you.
Don't just join.
Thank you.
Don't do it. They don't need your half in that organization, whatever organization you decide to join. They don't need. We have a lot of mediocrity already, and they don't need that. Like they don't need that side of your life.
There was one other thing that we have here. If you feel you said it, there's a hierarchy within the community, within the motorcycle community. There's a hierarchy. Understand it. If you agree with it or you disagree with it, that's entirely up to you.
If you disagree with it, don't join.
That's fine. Hey, listen, if you don't like it, you don't have to just ride your bike, ride your motorcycle whenever you feel like it. But there is a hierarchy, and yes, it goes like he mentioned. You have your 1%, you have 99% MCs, then you have whoever goes. MMs are not considered perhaps one of the elites, and it is what it is. I could personally, that doesn't bother me, because I know who I am and what I've been called to do. So
you understand your mission.
Exactly. I wear my motorcycle ministry patches with great honor, and for me it's a privilege. And we've talked about this. I feel that this is one of the reasons that the Lord has me on this earth. It's to do whatever I can in this ministry and serve the Lord in any capacity, with a role, with a position, or without a position. It has no bearings. Like I said, I'm a regional director right now. If tomorrow something were to happen and they say, hey, listen, brother, man, we're going to give somebody else another shot. You good being a member? I am fantastic being a member. I just want to do what I can do for the Lord in this position.
I want to go to be back with CrossFit. This is being a CrossFit is awesome.
And I love the fact that I can go, and maybe that's probably here in this community, in our local community in Miami. But I've been able to go, and I've had no issues whatsoever. I have not been treated, and this is a compliment to the culture, the Miami culture, of which you are a part of. But I've been to the activities, some of the activities that you've had, and the culture here, the club scene here, and everybody is so welcoming. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
That's Miami. That's nowhere else. That's Miami.
If that's the case, then maybe other places should aspire to be like that, because that's what it's about. It's the culture.
No, Miami is awesome. Miami, I'm gonna tell you, man, Miami is awesome. Miami, the way that the culture here is just for motorcycle club, this is awesome. We just wanna hang out with our brothers. This is the only council that someone from another club calls you brother when you're wearing a different patch. So that's how it is in here. And I've seen 2 or 3 other councils, right? And the amount of love in here. And this is a council where a motorcycle ministry is welcome to certain activities, is welcome to certain stuff. Not only welcome, encouraged to show up. So that's awesome. Something that, and I'm going to mention this, and I put this in here because there's people that are not comfortable with this part. They're not comfortable with it. And we touched about it in the last episode where we were talking about certification. There's people that are not comfortable and they're not okay with having someone having another iron sharpening your iron.
Accountability.
They are not comfortable with that. And they're not comfortable with being confronted. They're not comfortable with being told you're wrong. They're not comfortable with being told, hey, you need to ride. They're not comfortable with being told. And this is, and I'm putting this in here, this covers motorcycle clubs and MMA, right? And I just want to let you know that whichever organization you join, you're going to have people, brothers or sisters, that I'm going to tell you as is. They're going to be, bikers are not known for being non-vocals. Bikers are not known for being quiet. Bikers are not known for being introverts. We ride super loud motorcycles for a reason. We're not introverts. We're actually obnoxious sometimes. We're vexing sometimes, right? People are gonna push you. 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 And you might not like it. So you need to be comfortable with that. You need to, and you're gonna have to push some people. And I'm not talking about pushing to be better, pushing to go to the next level. In a motorcycle club, you become better because you want to better the brotherhood. You don't better the brotherhood to bettering just your brother. You better the brotherhood becoming you better. And I don't think that does not apply to MMs. I think it's quite the same for MMs.
Absolutely. If you remember, and I'm sure you remember well, within our, and this is another, there's a difference. MCs have their traditional, have their prospecting period where they earn their patches. In our ministry, we do not have a prospecting period. We do have a mentorship, which is a series of lessons where we explain culture, we explain the mission, the how. And I know you're gonna remember this. One of the points was get yourself an accountability partner. Mm-hmm. The importance of having that accountability partner, because it's necessary, because there's so many benefits of having somebody that will keep you and help you. We all carry a patch. At least we do. A lot of us do. Where we clearly state, I am my brother's keeper. I am responsible to help my brother. And if I see something, I say something. I can't be worried about, but how's he gonna take it? Listen, many times what's at play and what's at risk is your soul. It's salvation. And I'm not going to say something because you might get your feathers ruffled. No, I'll tell you. And you might get offended, and that's fine. That's fine. I'll say it with love. I'll say it with love. I'll try. And sometimes love can be tough.
Love doesn't sound nice on style, right? Like sometimes people want, oh my God, I want that, but that's important. And you need to understand, guys, that this is part of it. This is part of the culture. If you don't like to be told, don't join. Don't stop looking. I keep on writing solo. I'm just going to, in my club, my personal experience, I have my VP and my cellular arms, and they are that kind of people that they'll tell me as it is, right? Not only because of their position on a motorcycle club, the cellular arms, the only one that cellular arms keeps the president real. He keeps the president transparent. He keeps the president on his face, and any other member. But the one that can find the president is the cellular arm on a club, and most of the clubs. But we don't do it like that. I don't do it like that. We do it like that, but we don't. What I'm trying to say is that, man, I keep my brothers accountable, my move. Even if, hey guys, listen, I'm dealing with this stuff. I'm doing this too much, man. Or stupid things like, bro, if you see me ordering a Coke, just slap me in the face. They'll happy do it because they're like that. But stuff like that, and I'm just really proud of that. And for me, it's extremely important, and it's something that you will see with you when I was part of the motorcycle ministry. Not only was accountability, are you practicing your skills, but it was, let me go with you so you can practice your skills on the motorcycle. So that is the kind of accountability that you can expect on a motorcycle ministry or motorcycle club. And once again, if you're not comfortable with that, it's something that you should enjoy. Example of accountability for you.
Do you remember Mike Cyclone?
Uh-huh.
Mike is a beautiful man. Yes. And when I say beautiful man, I mean his spirit is such.
He's a man of God.
He's a man of God. Every time I see Mike has a word of encouragement. And he has he's got that way and that southern drawl.
Yes, absolutely.
And every time I see him, every time we see him, every time we get together, that we are blessed to be with him. He has this beautiful way of reinforcing the importance of getting into your word, to digging into, getting deeper into your relationship with the Lord, just so that you can be more effective in doing what you have to do. And it's a beautiful thing to hear him and the way he goes about it. And that for me is helping us be accountable to God and to our mission, and to be the best version of who. And I can tell you that every time I hear him, I feel so encouraged and convicted of, man, I should be doing better.
Yeah.
This guy he's dropping knowledge, he's dropping gems.
He's great. I remember him. He's great, man. He's a sweet spirit, man. He's an awesome man of God.
Brother, but he tells it like it is.
Yes. And he says it with that southern accent that you cannot fight with that, man.
You cannot.
If you fight with that, you're going to get a holy switch. They're going to hit you with the switch, right?
No. But I love the fact that he listens and he allows himself to be used by the Lord to help others be accountable. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful. That for me,
it's awesome. Listen. It is important, and that you understand that also takes commitment. Takes a lot of commitment, and both type of organizations are going to require for you to give your 100%. They want you 100%. They want, no, but what about my priorities? So why don't you tell us really quick, because I didn't put it here, but I think it's important as we do some closing remarks. Why don't you tell to the audience what are them in a motorcycle ministry? Typically, actually, you cannot speak for any other motorcycle ministry because you've never been in another one, right? But in your motorcycle ministry, in Black Sheep, Affiliations for Christ, which one, how is the priority? How do you establish priority?
All right, the priority.
Because listen, This is important, Ander, because people think that they drink the Kool-Aid, they saw Son of Anarchy and see, they now think that they join a motorcycle club, which, by the way, was my misunderstanding at the very beginning. At the very beginning, I was being approached by a motorcycle club, and I said to the motorcycle club, I don't have the type of commitment. I don't want for this to be my priority because I watch Son of Anarchy. It was God protecting me at that point.
Yeah.
But my misunderstanding was that, oh my God, I'm going to live in the clubhouse. That's what I thought it was supposed to be. But what are the priorities?
So our priorities in Black Sheep Harley Davidson's for Christ, the priorities of the hierarchy is God, family, church, work, then the ministry. Very important. God, family, church, job, and the ministry. And what that means is that, yes, the ministry is important. And like everything else, you make time for it. That's what you sign up for. But the ministry will never, if you have a job, it's not like somebody's going to tell you, hey, you can't go to work today because we have to ride. Not going to happen. I have a family affair that we have to take care of. That takes precedence. Oh, I got the church. That takes precedence. Because
Church, you mean like
regular church. When I say churches, because remember, we are all active members of a church. Black Sheep Harley Davidson's for Christ really does not allow for people that don't go to church, that are not active members, participating members of a congregation, because that's biblical that we congregate, right? If you have church ministry obligations, and that takes precedence. That's not, and then of course your family.
Yeah, I wanted to clarify because for MC, church is
Your meetings, or
our meetings, right? So it's also we call it when we sit at the table, we say, hey, we have church.
when we go to church, we go to church.
Yeah, so
You take your offerings, your tithes, and then
the whole thing. So for us, are exactly the same. For us, is God first. You have to make time for God. Then after God, it will be your family. Then after that, it will be your work, and then after that, it will be church, where the place of worship, where you go to worship, and your worship community, the community that you worship with, that you serve at, and then club. But the difference is that club is extremely important because club is what we have chosen to be part of. And club, we put a lot of emphasis in the club, and I see my brothers 3 times per week sometimes, and these past weekends we've been riding a lot, and we put a lot of emphasis on that. And as other obligations allow for that, but in the spare time we just don't we don't play golf, just hang out with the brothers. For us, it's important.
and that's a choice that you made. That's part of the commitment that you made, and it requires it, and it's expected of you. And if you don't do it, there are consequences.
Yeah, and it's not so much about the consequences. We understand that you are going to have a weak chapter, and the Brotherhood is going to suffer. That's how we see it, right? We have commitments, and we have mandatories. We have right to patches, right? You don't get patches if you don't do certain stuff. There are certain mandatories that we do, but we all look forward to hang out with each other.
Let's talk about it. How many times, just to get this to put perspective, how many times a week or a month are you expected to be on tour at events, fulfilling duties as a club member? How many times?
A month. I will say a month. And it's not per week, right? There are weeks that are different than ours. At least 5 times or something like that. As the president of the chapter,
5, it would be a bare minimum.
bare minimum.
So that means that could be more.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And there are months that, for instance, December's coming, where everybody's winding down in December. We're just keep on pushing. As the president, though, not only my club, but the community general is expecting to see the president everywhere. So for me, I will say in reality is 10, 12 functions that I have to attend.
That's
I have put in 2 years. I have put close to 15,000 miles on in the back.
just to put in perspective, right? No,
And we'll work to 20 something.
20 does. To put it into perspective, expectation for our ministry is you should have available at least 2 Saturdays a month,
2 Saturdays enough.
about 5 hours, right? Give or take 10 hours, 15 hours, if you put it in hours, right? For the ministry. So you can see that the commitment for you guys is way more. Now, mind you, these are bare minimums, right? What we're talking about, bare minimum. We can do more if God allows it, and of course that's welcome. But we establish that type of a guideline so that people can more or less understand. So if you're thinking, man, I would really like to join an MC, know that you might be looking at 5-10 days a month.
Bro,
that
I
you
can
gotta
tell you,
be
I left
on tour.
I left home on Saturday at 6 and I came home at 11 p.m.
Let me say something. Let me mention something. When you joined 5 years ago, the MM, how old were your kids?
Babies, they were.
So that also is a factor, fam.
Yeah, absolutely. And so glad you mentioned that.
If you got young kids,
They were no babies, but
they were younger kids.
younger.
Yeah, so they were
maybe
10
10,
and
12,
and 8.
Yeah,
Something like
youth. They were youth.
Yeah.
There was, if you got younger kids, know that will also play into
Absolutely.
the time that you
Absolutely.
can. Now you're in a position that your kids are you're grown up. They're older now.
Making them a favor, isn't it?
Exactly. They don't want to hang out with you as much.
Yeah.
They probably enjoy your time with you and all that good stuff. But
they
really,
don't
you don't have the bandwidth to say, let me do this.
Yeah.
So, fam, if you have younger kids, know that this type of commitment, not that, hey, listen, man, if you get the go ahead from your wife and all that good stuff, whether you can go, hey, no, that's fine. But if not, take that into consideration also. What type of time do I have to dedicate to my family because I have smaller children? How is that going to look for the ministry? You ride with your wife occasionally, and that's phenomenal. But there's a lot of activities that you,
I have chosen not to bring her.
right, because of the environment. That's something also that will, if you have a wife that really enjoys doing ministry with you, maybe an MC might not be.
Yeah, an MC,
an
I
option.
don't know of any co-ed MC, and I didn't want it to be in a co-ed MC. Most definitely, I wanted.
Traditionally, that's not the case.
Yes, it's not the case.
Traditionally
My MC is traditional. We are what we call a traditional MC. I wanted that. That to me was by design. I love my wife, but in the system of life, also I need that we benefit from missing each other a little bit. And she is my lady. You've seen her in clubhouses with me. You've seen her at events with me. And she comes to certain clubhouses to me, with me, and to certain events, but it's never the requirement for her to. It was in a motorcycle ministry for her to be there to minister. It was not. That's never the requirement.
No, and mind you, it's when you say it's a requirement because she was a member.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's
Because my wife's not a member; she's a supporter. She supports me.
But
But
no.
she's
So she
not
was
a member.
She was a member.
But our ministry being co-ed, or right, having women and men serving together, yes, of course, if you're a member, you have the same expectation. We believe in equality, so you're a woman, you got to do it in the same amount of time as the gentleman. So, but that also is something that for you guys out there that are thinking, my wife loves to ride, and she rides her own bike, and I bless Mary and Ken Hawkle. They are phenomenal. I love those people up in Maine. They are such a beautiful couple, and we have so many
Female riders.
female and T-Dog and Elizabeth, a married couple. She doesn't ride her own bike, but she rides with him, and she's a patch member, and they do ministry together, and that's a blessing, right? That's a great thing. So that's something else that people need to consider.
Yeah, so for instance,
What
if
you want? I want my wife to that she has her own bike. Don't join an MC. Don't join an MC. It is frowned upon. And for your wife to ride with the back, she's not gonna be welcome. It's just weird.
Which is uncomfortable.
Really bad. Most definitely, I wouldn't want my wife or any of my brother's wife with me
In that situation.
No, in a pack. I don't want to ride with women. I just really don't want to ride with women. We're traditional like that. And there's places where if she's going on the back with me, she's welcome. But if she's going on her own motorcycle, she's never gonna be welcome. She's actually required not to enter the premises of the property of that club because it's disrespectful to the culture. And so that's something to keep in mind, and most definitely. And if you want your wife to be, listen, I have chosen not to bring my wife to every single function. There are functions that I don't. And also at the same time, I get a lot of fun from riding hard, fast, handlebar to handlebar. To me, it's exciting. I don't want her in that position because it's risky. We're just it's 3 foot apart.
It's not enjoyable.
3 feet apart from.
It's not enjoyable for her.
It's going to be nerve-wracking.
So fam, that's just another thing for you guys to consider, and
Yeah.
that's what I think one of the things that we wanted to really lay out in this
Yeah.
episode was, listen, if you're thinking about it, if you're praying on it, and you've never thought about it, but you wanted to consider it, what are the things that you need to consider? Consider your wife, consider your family, consider the time that you have, consider your resources.
Time, how much you want to ride, what riding style do you want to do? Do you want to have fun? Do you feel that you're being called to that? Is it easy for you to talk to people? Those are kind of things that are important for you to consider. And listen, I want to close with this because you do not need a patch. You do not need a patch in order for you to serve God or to have fun with your motorcycle. You don't need a patch. But heck, you're gonna have so much fun with it. That's for sure. And it's a good thing.
So
Yeah, no, that's what we say all the time. We have many of our members with black sheep without patches. They
didn't know.
They do the work. They didn't know that this was there. Closing out, we do not recruit. Black Sheep doesn't recruit. I'm sure that you guys don't recruit either. We pray for those that are called either to our ministry or to their club. We pray for brothers and sisters. In his case, he prays for brothers that are called to be with our respective organizations. So while we pray, I highly encourage you guys to also pray. And the Lord will place you where you need to be. And all I can tell you is when he places you somewhere, be faithful and be loyal to that calling. And do your best. And grow and make your effort to grow with you and to improve. Like he said, be better and do better for the benefit of everybody that wears your same patch. That's your family. Those are your people. And you will, I can tell you one thing. We don't rock the same patches anymore, but he will always be my brother. And we started out together. He went his way. I've stayed here. But that doesn't mean anything. We are still brothers. And he knows that whatever he needs, and his guys know also, that's the blessing of this community. Our patches are something that identifies us, but it really is, when it comes to the kingdom of heaven, we're all brothers, and that's something that we can always feel proud of.
Absolutely, this is all about God and God only. So guys, thank you so much. If you have more questions, and I'm sure you might have more questions, please reach out to us, Facebook, Instagram, put it on the comments on YouTube. We would love to answer those questions. This is something, feel free, man. Yeah, we're passionate about this, and we had great mentors coming up in this world that help us a lot. So we want to just give back. So if you have any questions, and I'm going to put this on a lot of Christian pages, man. If you have any questions, please ask. Get informed. Have
Yeah.
a good night. Have a good time. And it's night in here, so it's really late already. So God bless you guys.
Be blessed.
Bye.